Metal Army welcomes in Bruce Corbitt of WARBEAST. Bruce, what's up, man?
Not too much, man. Just preparing for that tour we got coming up.
That's right. WARBEAST is hitting the road this September with Down. What can the fans expect from the set this go-round?
Sorry, bro. I couldn't hear that
Oh,
part.
sure. What can the fans expect from the set this time around on tour?
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to expect to hear a lot of new stuff, which, I'm excited about. The whole band's excited about. We just recorded our new album, as you might have heard. So we're going to start testing it out at these shows. So a lot of new material coming up for everyone.
That's amazing. I was going to ask about the progress of the new record. Do we have a firm release date yet, or you can't reveal it?
Well, not for the actual album. Thinking it'll be early 2013. But we finished recording it last month, and we're all excited. We think it's a step up from the first album. But we do have a release date on the split that we're coming out. The split with two WARBEAST songs and two Phil Anselmo solo songs. And it's going to be called The War of the Gargantuas. And it'll be released October the 9th.
That name is awesome. Oh my gosh, that's great.
I know, so yeah, we're excited to, get, like, before the album, a little appetizer. Everybody gets to hear a little new WARBEAST, and of course, everybody's excited to hear the new Phil Anselmo solo album, too. So, comes out, give them a little taste of it before the actual releases.
That's awesome. And I know I saw a video recently where Phil joined you guys on stage, and I know he's done that in the past. Is that something spontaneous, or do you guys kind of plan that out in advance?
A little bit of both. I mean, it's happened so many times now, it almost seems like, well, if Phil's at one of our shows or whatever, we're touring together, it seems like he's usually going to get up there with us, and he knows our material so well because he was our producer on our album, so, I mean, he already knows it by heart. So, usually I might ask him before, just to make sure he's ready to go that night, but sometimes it's spur of the moment, but who knows, you might see him out there with us during this Down tour.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome, man. And I know.
It's an honor to have him up there with me, of course.
Surely. I know, beyond that, Phil was a fan of your career, obviously a Rigor Mortis fan, and obviously a friend of yours. Beside him and his involvement with the band, I feel like WARBEAST could have signed with any label, a few years ago when, you guys have formed a few years back and the record was coming out. Beyond, obviously, the connection to Phil, is there other benefits to being on housecore that you've noticed?
Well, I mean, we had a few labels interested in us. I don't know if we could have signed with any label, but, being with Phil, the advantage is, Phil knows both sides of the business, obviously, because he's been in bands himself, so at least he looks at that side of things, and he tries to be fair. He takes up for the band and wants them to be happy, and he knows what's fair. So, there's a million other little things. It's like, hey, he can produce our album. He's got a big name in the metal world out there, so it's nice to have someone like Phil Anselmo say, hey, you guys need to check out this band called WARBEAST, So that to me is better than some label that might have bought a page ad in a magazine or something.
Right.
I'd rather be endorsed by someone like Phil. So there's a lot of little advantages. Main thing is, like I said earlier, being on both sides of it. I think he's fair to us.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. I think Phil does a great job with housecore and the housecore bands beside yours.
Yeah, he's good. He's great, man.
Awesome. And I wanted to say, so Crush the Enemy was terrific, and I can't wait to hear some of the new music. What is the reaction of Rigor Mortis fans you meet on the road to the new stuff?
Well, they're usually pretty cool. They're always asking me, when's the new Rigor Mortis album coming out or something.
Right.
But they seem to like WARBEAST too. I think they're going to like WARBEAST even more as we keep going and put out this next two releases we got coming out. And our music, I think, gets better as we've even though some of them are like dying to hear some old or some new Rigor Mortis, you know. But they're gonna get that too. I don't know if you knew, but we did record a new Rigor Mortis album back in February.
I knew that was being worked on, but I didn't know if it, how close it was to completion. That's great news.
Yeah, we finished it. We just got to do some mixing, and Mike and Casey were out there with Ministry for a while and just got back, so now we can kind of finish wrapping up the new Rigor Mortis album too. But like I said, I think that Warbeast Rigor Mortis fans, they can't complain about what I'm doing because I didn't go off and do something like, lame pop or glam or, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's fast thrash music, so hopefully they like it.
Awesome, man. And you talked about the live show. I always admired your live performance. What's the origin of your awesome microphone stand? Because you have such kind of a iconic-looking mic stand there, and you hold it like your own style, almost. I'm always interested in that.
Well, I mean, I actually just found that like some guitar store one day back in the 80s, right after I joined Rigor Mortis. But I started unscrewing it in half, and just using it like a little staff kind of deal. And that just became sort of my trademark. And then now I've been having them custom designed for me, where I don't have to unscrew it in the middle of a set. I can just pop it on and off. I don't know, I like it. I just like the feel of being able to walk around, and then also it's like a good way to, let the crowd be involved. If I see them singing the words, I can stick it out there, let them sing a line. And I feel lost without it, believe it or not. I mean, there's been a couple times I've had to do shows without my mic stand, which is kind of weird for me. I'm so used to it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's cool, man. I always wondered what inspired young Bruce Corbitt to start singing and get into bands in the first place.
Well, actually, that's pretty easy to answer. It was Mike Scascia, who's the guitarist for Rigor Mortis and now Ministry and other bands. But, I mean, I was always into music, and like everyone else did the air guitar and stuff, and, had those dreams, but I never would have made the move to be in a band if I hadn't met Mike Scascia. He was like 16 years old, and he was already in a band around here in my hometown, and he was already a phenomenal, way ahead of his time kind of guitarist that just blew me away, and we became pretty close friends, and I realized right off the bat, hey, if I'm in a band with this guy, I'll look good too, even if I don't know how to sing or anything, So, they were just complaining about the singer they had, and I just kind of mumbled, well, I'll try it. And they were like, well, that's cool, you know how to party and you got long hair, so let's try, And that's crazy but true story. If it wouldn't have been for Mike, I may have never even got the nerve up to try to even be in a band.
Wow, that's awesome. We all owe a debt to Mike then, because you meant a lot to the scene, and a lot of people are big fans of your style, so that's terrific, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I owe a lot to him, man. I love that guy.
Nice. And just for a last question, Bruce, and you've been really awesome with your time. Thanks a bunch. So I've seen you guys on the road, and I've seen, other young bands open for you guys. Do you have an opinion one way or the other on sort of the new breed of bands trying to do the classic thrash sound? Do you like some of them? Do you not like some of them? Are there any in particular that you do like?
Well, I mean, I'm always for them, to keep the torch burning, and of course I've always been into thrash is what the style of music I'm always going to do as far as my bands that I'm actually in, but of course I like some of them, and of course there's always some that's not so great, but at least they're trying, and who knows, in 2 years they might be great. But there's a lot of bands. That's what I like, is when I'm out there, these bands will come up to me and they'll give me their CDs, and actually that's what I spend most of my time listening to these days is these bands that pass along their new demos to me, and I like to try to, I don't know, I'm not an A&R representative or anything, but it's fun to hear up-and-coming bands and stuff, I've kind of listened to Iron Maiden and all that so much that it's nice just to hear fresh stuff every day, But yeah, I mean, I don't know, there's some bands around here, I mean, I can name some of them, but they're because there's good thrash bands blossoming all over the place, you know what I mean?
Definitely, man, definitely. That's awesome, man. Bands, go out there, and when you see Bruce on tour, give him your demo. He'll listen to it at least and tell you what he thinks of it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be down, we'll put it in the iPod, and we'll be cranking it up when we're in our van touring around, you know, so, yeah. Thanks, man. I love getting songs like some new bands and stuff.
Awesome, man, awesome. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough, Bruce, for spending some time with Metal Army today. Bruce Corbitt of WARBEAST and Rigor Mortis both have new music coming out soon. Catch them on tour with Down in September. Bruce, thanks again. Have a great day, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'll see you out there soon.
See you on the road. Take care.